Hi. It's nice to see you again. I just wanted to go over the assessments that we did and to give you some more information about our findings from those assessments and the treatment ideas that we have for you. Is that all right?
Yes, thank you.
All right, great. So as you know, we already talked about the diagnosis of Parkinson's, and because of that, we did a whole bunch of tests, but the two that I'd really like to talk to you about today are the cognitive assessment and the dysarthria profile that we did. Those two tests and our findings there can really give us more information about where we should be going with therapy.
Okay.
Okay, great. So the type of dysarthria that is commonly associated with Parkinson's disease is called hypokinetic dysarthria. And that really gives a name to all of the things that you've already pointed out about your speech that you've mentioned with us already. So some of the examples are that with hypokinetic dysarthria, your speech will be rigid and slow, might be breathy, you may be more monotone in terms of your loudness and your different pitches or tones. You might have short bursts of speech instead of more steady paces of speech, and that shaking or that tremor that you've mentioned, which also is coming from the Parkinson's as well. Do you have any additional questions about hypokinetic dysarthria?
With the therapy, will this go away or will I ever get rid of it?
So this is not something that is necessarily going to go away. However, with therapy, our goal is always for positive progression and improvement. And so our goal would be to start therapy as soon as possible so that we can be progressing and moving you towards better speech. Okay? All right, great. And then with the cognitive assessment, your score was in the range for the mild cognitive impairment, which again indicates some of the things that you've already told us about, such as the memory loss and the difficulty with judgment. And I really like how you're already working on those skills with yourself by keeping the Post-it notes around for yourself to make sure that you're remembering important things. So what additional questions do you have about mild cognitive impairment?
No, I don't have any additional questions.
All right. So now we can talk about the treatment plan that I have. So the focus for the treatment plan would really be on the dysarthria that we found, and then as we are aiming towards improvement and working on our therapy goals, as we get more comfortable in therapy, we'll also incorporate working on skills for those cognitive functions. Is that all right with you?
Okay.
Okay, great. So in terms of the treatment for dysarthria, our plan would really be to work on that breathing support as well as building a slower rate of speech so that we make sure that we are very clear when we're talking. So to work on that breath support, we would use a program called EMST, which really is working on building that muscle strength, which you mentioned you lost, and helping to lessen some of that breathiness when we talk as we're able to get more air when we're breathing because of that increased muscle strength. And then also in working on that slow rate of speech, like I mentioned before, we want to have more of a steady pace so that we're clearly understood by everyone that we talk to, and maybe we don't have to repeat ourselves or things like that because we're maintaining that slower pace. Do you have any additional questions about treatment?
Are there any other approaches you might use?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So there are definitely other approaches we can use. These are the ones that we were planning on focusing on for now as we see how your progress goes and how you improve with these, or if they maybe don't work for you, we can try other approaches. There are many other approaches for dysarthria, so these are the ones we'll try for now, and then as we progress through therapy, we can try some other things as well.
Okay.
Okay, great. So thank you for talking with me today. And I want to encourage you, since one of the goals that you talked about in our assessments was to increase your confidence with your speech. I really liked how you pointed out how you like to laugh and make jokes with people, and I really don't want you to lose that. So the only way that we can work on those skills is to practice them. So what I'd like you to do is this week when you're out in public, or even talking to family and friends, I'd really like to encourage you to try to tell them some jokes. I know you really liked to laugh, and so I really want you to try to bring that back, and I'd love to hear all about it when I see you again.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Thank you for coming in.